definitely need a good palate cleanser after that one. Whew. So we gotta go and talk to the girl. That's right. I don't care about you guys. Just give us the stuff. And bam. A really, really good item. We're actually going to check out this item right now. Alright. So we've got the antidote. Yeah, okay. Immune to poison. That's kind of nice. But where's those ears at? Right here. Occasionally decreases the damage inflicted by magic to 0. Whew. This, when it does tick, it's absolutely amazing. This is actually one of the core skills that we need for the super secret boss, which is why, again, the super secret boss is kind of harder, because that's the main skill that you need to be able to beat them. Because sometimes they'll pop up something and with their magic, and if you can take 0 damage from it, you're in good shape. Artist salon. Anything over here? No. And just this part. And as you can see, maybe vaguely, I now have cat ears. So now we are actually going to go missed a couple of stuff in that last right here. Right here, the other one. The item shop right here. We missed a couple items. So we're actually going to go back and we're going to grab them. Okay. Those are the items that we missed. There is one more screen over Canal Street, but before we go anywhere else, we're actually going to go back and talk to the girl about the dog and make sure that they got reunited happily. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get a reward. Very nice. So now we're going to go to Canal Street. That one item that we can get later, I think we unlock it later on. And the next town over, I think, is where we unlock the treasure hunts. told you, a lot of items here. Lot of items. Probably getting enough to start making some new rings here soon. Tenji, all right. Looks like that's about it. Crystal fragments from the Crimson Forest. Well, you know what, buddy? I'll probably bring you some later. I don't think I got that pot. Actually, don't remember. No, I didn't. Some sticker tape, alright. We've been making good progress, especially with the dreams, so we definitely want to save so that we don't lose our progress. You gotta be so mad, dude. Definitely love getting all these seeds. Huh. Well, maybe something happens here later. See, it looks like you could just, like, jump over there. Okay. It's probably something for later in the game. Yeah, see, there's just an item shop dude over there. Maybe it's this one we take. Nope. Alright, let's see here. We are going into this person's house. It's just a book. Boo. We only care about dreams. It's an item or a book? It's a book. Brave little boy. Da 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 da. Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, that's what we want. That's good. That's going to give us a bonus to be able to make a ring to fight insects. G. Very nice. Let's open the cupboard. 100 G. And that should be about it for this place. Bye, lady. And we'll go ahead and take this. One more item. It's probably a fruit, and that's why I'm missing it. Yep, that's exactly what it is. There you go. Alright. And now we'll come in here and see what this family has for us. Read. Blah, 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 blah. I'll save those for you for when you guys play the game yourself. These guys have a lot of stuff that they want to give to us. So that's about it for this. Probe into here. Yeah, okay. Let me read up real quick about this treasure. Alright, so now we're going to got a group of kids we need to go ahead and join because they are going to give us an item. Let's just keep talking to kids. I want to talk to you. Ah, there we go. Hello, fellow teenagers. May I join your group? Alright. There's the large balloon. One is down here. We love our dreams. Uh-oh. I don't like this music with that one. Don't forget me now, you hear? Brother dear? The cry comes from behind as he wades through the post-town's crowds. At first, Kime does not realize that this person is addressing him as he walks on in search of lodging for the night, but the cry comes out again, all but clinging to him. Brother, dear brother, big brother. This is puzzling. He last visited the town 8 years ago. There can't be anyone here who knows him. Wait, big brother, don't go. His puzzlement begins to take on an eerie edge, for the voice addressing him as Big Brother can only belong to an old woman. Without letting his guard down, he turns slowly. Just as he thought. It is an old woman. Dressed in the clothing of a young girl, the tiny old woman is looking straight at Kime with a bright smile on her face. I think you may have the wrong person, he says, allowing his discomfort to show. No, I don't, she says with a big shake of the head and an expanding smile. You're Big Brother Kime. What? What's wrong, Kime? Did you forget me? Well, I mean, he can't place her. Even if he were to succeed in doing so, he knows he has no acquaintance in this town. He wonders, could this be a chance re-encounter with someone he once met on the road? But no, he is sure he doesn't recognize her. And strangest of all, why should this woman, who looks old enough to be his grandmother, address him as Big Brother? Don't pretend you don't know who I am, Kime. You're so mean. She yells at him loudly enough that people in the crowd stop and stare at them. It is not just the fact that she is shouting, of course. People always have to shout to be heard in these crowded streets. That alone would not attract attention. The old woman's voice is different from a normal adult yell. It is like the innocent, unresisted cry of a little girl who throws her whole body into a scream. People turned, shock expression on the old woman, and quickly avert their eyes. Their dismay is understandable. The old woman has her stark white hair tied up with a colorful ribbon, and her dress has the same floral pattern and floppy sleeves as a little girl's. Many of the passers-by look at the old woman with a mix of sympathy and pity on their face. Gradually, Kime begins to comprehend the situation. This old woman has simply lived too long. This is why the past, locked away in her memory, has become realer to her than the reality before her eyes. A middle-aged passerby tugs on Kime's elbow. If I were you, I'll just walk away. Don't get involved with her. She's nothing but trouble. It is true, says the wife by his side, nodding. You're a stranger here, so you don't know, but this old woman is senile. You can ignore her. She'll forget everything in 5 minutes. That may be right, but the fact is this old woman knows Kime's name. In the little girl part of her mind, she thinks of Kime as her big brother. He tries probing his distant memories. He spent no more than a few days here so long ago. He got to know very few people, and there can't be any of those left who still remember him. When Kime goes on standing before the old woman, the noisy middle-aged couples become indignant. You try to be helpful, and what does it get you? Snorts the husband. Let them work it out themselves, as the wife. Let's just go, which they proceed to do. Winding up her voice for maximum shrills, the old woman calls out to them as they walk off in a hump. Don't forget me now, you hear? In that instant, Kime memory makes the connection. The old woman greets his look of recognition with an expression of joy. Do you remember me now? She cries. I'm Susu. It's me, Susu. He does remember her. The little girl he met in this town 80 years ago, perhaps 5 or 6 years old at the time. She was a precocious little thing whose lack of shyness with strangers came from her being the daughter of an innkeeper. Somewhere along the way, she had probably picked up a phrase she heard someone using, and so whenever a guest would depart, a number of days at the inn, Instead of the standard goodbye or thank you, she would see the person off with a smile and cheery, "Don't forget me now, you hear?" Only now, when he is suddenly able to see the girl beneath the wrinkles, Kai must avert his gaze from the old woman's face. "What's wrong, big brother?" He cannot bring himself to look directly at Susu's vacant stare. 80 years have gone by. What can they talk about when a man who never ages meets a little girl from the distant past who has aged too much? "Let me through here, please. Sorry, let me through here, please." Forcing his way through the crowd, a young man rushes up to where Susu and Kaim are standing. "Great grandmother, how often do I have to ask you not to go out without telling me?" After scolding the old woman, he turns to Kaim with an apologetic bow. "I'm terribly sorry if she's been a bother to you. She's old and getting senile. I hope you can forgive her." Susu herself, however, angrily purses her wet lips and demands to know, "What are you talking about? I'm just playing with Big Brother Kaim. What's wrong with that?" She peers at the young man and asks, "Who are you?" The young man turns a sad gaze on Kaim and begins to apologize again. With a pained smile, Kaim stops him. Kaim knows that at times it can be sadder and more heartbreaking for a life to be prolonged than for it to be cut short. Sad and heartbreaking though life may be, however, no one has the right to trample on it. She just can't seem to get it through her head. She's old. Even if I hold a mirror up to her, she asks, "Who's that old lady?" The young man, the young man whose name is Kashif, further explains the situation to Khan. Kai, sorry. She might forget that she ate breakfast, but her memories from childhood can be clear as a bell. Kaim nods in silent understanding. Kash and Kaim sit on a bench in the town plaza, watching Shushu pick flowers. She's apparently making a floral wreath for her long lost big brother. "But really, sir, do you have time for this? Weren't you in a hurry to get somewhere?" "No, I'm fine. Don't worry." "Thanks much." He smiles for the first time and says, "I haven't seen her this happy in ages." The young man seems convinced that his great grandmother has encountered in Kaim a person who resembles someone she knew as a child. Kaim allows him Kaim allows him this. He knows that Kash cannot and need not imagine the existence of a person who never ages. Her health has really deteriorated lately. Whenever she runs a fever, we wonder if this is going to be the end for her, and we prepare for the worst. But then she springs right back. Sometimes we joke that her mind is far gone. She's forgotten to die. Kaim sees the young man in profile. Kash has a gentle smile on his face as he speaks of his great grandmother. No doubt, when he was little, she used to hold him and play with him. Grown up now, Kash watches over his great grandmother, like a parent watching his own child. He calls out to her, "That's nice, great grandmother. I haven't seen you weave flowers together like that for a long time." Squatting in the grass with a fistful of flowers, Susu answers, "That's not true. I made a wreath for him yesterday." Then she says to Kaim, "Isn't that right, big brother? You wore it in your hair for me, didn't you?" Kaim cups his hands around his mouth and calls back to her, "I certainly did. It smelled so nice." Susu's face becomes a mass of joyful wrinkles, overcome with emotion. Kash bows his head. Kaim asks Kash, "Are you the only one who takes care of her?" "Uh-huh. Me and my wife, Cynthia." "How about your parents? Or even your grandparents? Are they still alive?" Kash shrugs and says, "I'm the only member of my family left alive." His grandparents both died in an epidemic 20 years ago. His father lost his life in the war that enveloped this area 10 years ago. His mother, Susu's grandmother, aged more rapidly than her own mother, and the lamp of her life was snuffed out 5 years ago. So my great-grandmother has had to keep holding funerals over the years for her children and grandchildren. Before we noticed, she had become the oldest person in town. It must be lonely living that way. I'm sure, answers Kime. It might even be a kindness of the gods to let people fade out mentally when they've lived too long. At least that's how I've come to see it lately. You would think she would feel lonely to be left behind that way, but she's not lonely at all. To live long means you've had a lot of memories. Maybe it's not such a bad thing to live in the world of your memories during the last days of your life. Shushu stands up, her arms filled with flowers. Big Brother Kime, I'm going to make a floral wreath for you now, and if I have any flowers left over, I'll make one for this other person too. Kime and Cash look at each other with bewildered smiles. Why are you smiling like that? Shushu asks. Are you two friends now? She opens her wrinkled ring eyes with a surprise and gives the two men a joyful smile and collapses into the grass. Cash starts to run for a doctor, but Kime grabs his arm and holds him back, saying, You better stay with her. Ironically, Kime, who can never truly know what it feels like to age, has been present for that very reason at countless deaths over the years. His experience tells him that Shushu will not recover this time. Shushu is lying on her back where she has fallen, her arm-loaded flowers now spread over her chest. Her face wears a big smile. Wait just a minute, Big Brother Kime. I'll make your wreath for you right away. Her mind is still lingering among her memories of the past. Will she stay like this to the very end? Keep fighting, great-grandmother. Don't let go. Cash clings to her hand, tearfully shouting encouragement, but she may not even realize that this is her own great-grandson. It's me, great-grandmother. It's me, Cash. You haven't forgotten me, have you? I bathed you last night. You know who I was then, didn't you? Cash appeals to her with all his might. The Shushu, a girlish smile on her lips, is departing for that distant world. I'm going to be a father soon, great-grandmother. Remember, I told you last night. Cynthia has a baby inside. It's going to make you a great-grandmother, or great-great-grandmother. Our family is going to grow, another person with your flesh and blood. Still smiling, Shushu grabs one of the flowers on her chest in her trembling fingers. She thrusts it towards Cash, and in a voice no more than a whisper, she says, Don't you forget me now. You hear? Cash doesn't understand. Indeed, how could he know the little phrase she always used to speak long before he was born? Kime puts his arm around Cash's shoulders and says, Answer her. I know what you mean, great-grandmother. I won't forget you. I will absolutely never forget you. How could I forget my own great-grandmother? Don't you forget me now, you hear? I won't forget you, great-grandmother. Believe me. I'll always remember you. Don't forget me now, you hear? Shushu closes her eyes and lays her hands on the flowers on her chest, as if groping there for some reason. She seems almost to be trying to open the door where the memories are sealed. A soft breeze moves over her. The flowers adorning her chest dance in the wind along the memories. Surely among those memories is the Kime of 80 years ago. Kime snatches at one of the petals dancing in the wind, enclosing it in the palm of his hands. Shushu will never open her eyes again. She is left on a journey to a world where there is no past or present. The only ones she has left behind are Kime, who will go on living forever, and Cash, who is about to welcome a new life into the world. Clinging to her corpse, Kime raises his tear-stained face to look at Kime. Thank you so much, he says to Kime the Traveler. Thanks to you. My great-grandma was so happy to be picking flowers at the very end. No, it wasn't thanks to me, Kime says. He closes his fist on the petal in his hands and says to Cash, I'm sure if she had made a wreath, she would have given it to your sweet new baby. Kosh shyly cocks his head and mutters, I hope you're right. But then, smiling through his tears, he's declared, I'm sure you are. About that promise you made to her, be good and don't forget her. No, of course not. People go on living as long as they remain in someone's memory. With these words, Kain begins to walk slowly away. Behind, he hears Sushu's voice. Don't you forget me now, big brother Kain. You hear? It is the voice of the little girl from 80 years ago, ringing ever clear, sweet and innocent, declaring farewell to the man who will travel forever. So there we have it. Our first follow-up dream. I think there's a couple more of them, but whew, man. Yay! Alright, so let's go ahead and equip this. Can you take a minute and pause the video to recover from that last stream? I completely understand. Immunity to Kelolon, which is going to be very important later on, as always. Alright, so we have done that. Let us go. Yeah, the guard don't care. He's like, whatever, dude. I don't care where you go to. So that has been a couple dreams. That has been new area. We're going to save here, and then we're going to get ready to go to our new area and continue on in the journey. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying this playthrough. I hope you guys are enjoying this game as much as I am. This game is even more of the feels than I could remember. But the most important thing is I really hope you guys are enjoying life.